Okay, we are recording. Thank you guys for being on tonight. My name is Katie Harlan, and I'm the creator of If You Carb Cycle. I'm so excited to talk to you about this program tonight and get started over the next 3 weeks with you. This is going to be time to get focused on your fitness and nutrition and to dig deep. It's not going to be easy, but it is going to be simple, and I'm going to guide you every step of the way. So in order to really be successful, I'm going to help you tonight with some background information on the program and some tips and tricks, and so that you feel comfortable and confident getting started tomorrow. So this will be about 30 minutes. If you need to hop off, I totally understand. I know this is bedtime if you've got young kids. Well, hopefully, right? I know summers are harder. It seems like they go to bed later and later every night. So about 30 minutes, but as long as technology cooperates, I will post the recording in when it uploads. All right, you guys. So first I wanted to just tell you a little bit about me. I know all of you, but I know all of you in different capacities. So I've been in health and fitness for 4.5 years now, and I'm a former teacher. I was an elementary educator for 5 years. I loved my job, and then I had lots of babies, and so I became a stay-at-home mom. And when I was ready to get back into health and fitness for myself, I found a community of people that was just really, really wonderful, and I joined that community as a Beachbody coach. I found really great results with the products, and so I joined, and I did that for 4 years, and I really loved it. I got to know lots of different types of fitness. I got to learn lots of different nutrition strategies. My fitness grew. My client base grew, and then I decided to kind of make a little bit of a left turn and go my own route, because I was really feeling a little bit blocked in, caged in, maybe is too strong of a term, but a little bit limited with what I could offer my clients based on just the Beachbody model. I had some strategies that were working for me, and I really wanted to share those with them without requiring them to buy a certain product like Shakeology, which I love Shakeology, and if you drink it, you know how great it is, but it's not for everyone, and I just wasn't able to help everyone unless they were buying those products. So I have left that company. I'm just working on my own now. I'm super thrilled to be doing this and to be bringing you this program. So all of the things that I create and bring to you are just things that have worked for me and my family and my clients, and I've sort of refined and gotten better at using them over the months and years. So this program started about November of last year. I was just, and you might have seen my post yesterday, I was just sort of feeling like, even though I was working out really hard and I was eating really clean, I was eating clean about 80% of the time and going off plan 20% of the time, which is a really great strategy, and it's really sustainable. But I was just feeling like my workouts weren't doing what they should be, even though I was changing them up regularly. So I started researching carb cycling because it was kind of a buzz term in the weightlifting community. And I found that this was something that I wanted to maybe try. Carb cycling can boost your performance. It can decrease your body fat, increase muscle tone and definition, all things that I was really interested in. But when I started looking at different plans for it, I didn't like it at all. It was too restrictive. So I kind of scrapped it for a while. And then it came back up in some of my research, and I found a plan that appealed to me a lot more. And it was very simple. It was on one day you have lower carbs, and on one day you have higher carbs. And you just alternate all week long. And then on one day of the week, you just throw everything out the window and do whatever you want. And that's called a flex day. And so I thought, I'm going to give this a try. I did. My husband and I gave it a try for 3 weeks, really strict. Like, we didn't have alcohol during those 3 weeks. We didn't have bread. We didn't have pasta. And it was really awesome. I mean, my husband's lost 20 pounds since January. I've lost body fat and just really felt like my fitness has jumped to another level because of my nutrition. And so I started sharing it with my clients. They were having amazing results as well. I have several repeats in this group because they loved the program so much. And then I was also at the same time playing with intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting, we'll get into it in a second, but it's a really simple strategy because it really just cuts out one of your meals during the day. And I loved all of the health benefits from it. So I was playing with that and I was feeling really, really good. And then it occurred to me to put them together, through trial and error. I mean, I'm kind of like, oh, wait, I'm doing both of these. Maybe my clients would like to do both of these. I've got to wipe this cat hair off my screen. So I did. And when I put both of them together for my clients, it was like even bigger. And so that's what you guys have. And this is the second time I've run it with both strategies together. And I just think we found the sweet spot of a solution that you can use long term. It's very simple, and you can customize it as we go. And we'll talk about that throughout the program. This is truly a study of one, and that's you. You are going to study how your body responds to different situations in this program. And then at the end of the 3 weeks, you're going to have data that you can use to move forward. How many days a week do you want to fast? How many, what eating hour works best for you? Do you do better with more low carb days or more high carb days? Or is a flex day good, or do you want to have your treats spread throughout the week? You're going to have data that can help you make those decisions and customize the program for you. But what I really want you guys to do for 3 weeks here is buckle down and follow the program. So tomorrow when you post your check-in, I don't want anybody to say that they caved and had ice cream. And that has happened many times. Just don't. Stick to it for 3 weeks. And at least the first day, tomorrow. I want everybody to have a great score tomorrow. It's not about being perfect. It's really not. It's about progress. And you're going to gain progress as you go. It's going to get easier and easier and easier. But I want you to do your best and put the work in, because it will pay you back so much. You're going to feel great. You're going to look great. You're going to increase your confidence, and you're going to be glad you put in the work. So I hope you guys are all on board with that. Let's go through the manual a bit. I'm going to share my screen, and I just need somebody I can't see any of your faces, so I'm going to need somebody to type in the chat that you can indeed see the manual now. Could I get somebody to come on? Oops, I can't see the chat in this position.
It's Renee, and we can see it.
You can see it. Thanks, Renee. Okay, perfect.
You're welcome.
Sometimes it only shows the green background. Okay, awesome. All right, guys. So I just had the manual redone, and I'm so proud of it. I think it's beautiful. But as I was looking at it tonight for the 100th time, some of the stuff was out of order. So I apologize for that. But they're minor issues. Okay. So let's start with the intermittent fasting, although we're not going to start this until week 2. So we have 3 weeks of the program. This is week 1, next week is week 2, and we will start intermittent fasting on week 2. But I just want to give you a little bit of information about the fasting. Oh, please make sure that you've taken your measurements tonight and your pictures. You are supposed to send them to me here. I don't know if you saw that there. But if you're not comfortable with that, I understand. I'm not going to be mad at you. I put that in there for accountability. I don't even really look at them, but it's just good to have them so that somebody is holding on to them, because I can't tell you how many times people say that they've lost their measurements. So don't be one of those people. Don't lose your measurements. And a quick note about the scale. I want you to weigh yourself today, and then I really want you to put the scale away until the end of the program. If you message me in 3 days and say, I'm really feeling better, but the scale hasn't moved at all, or I'm feeling bloated, I'm going to be like, no, I told you not to get on the scale. Don't get on the scale again. It only shows you a small snippet of what you're doing. It does not show you the whole picture. It measures your weight, not your body fat. So I really would like you to stick with taking your measurements, weighing yourself today, and then not doing anything with it for 3 weeks. For those of you that are local to the Champaign area, if you want to get a little more information at the beginning of the program, you can go into 5-Star Nutrition and use their scale for free. It's called an in-body scale, and it measures your body fat and your muscle mass, and it takes like 5 minutes, and they're so great and so helpful in there. And if you're not in the area, there are 34 stores in the US, so just Google and see if there's one near you, and you're welcome to use that, and it's great information when you're going through a new program. Okay, so you guys, here are some of the benefits of intermittent fasting. And if you're like me, you see this and you're like, okay, there's no reason I'm not going to do this because it's so, so important. You know, it reduces the inflammation in the body, which inflammation is it's like the cause of everything bad comes from inflammation in the body. You have loss of belly fat, your metabolism gets boosted, it lowers your risk for heart disease, and it improves your brain health. I've noticed that a lot. I've noticed my brain feeling clearer, and just less foggy. It increases the breakdown of fats, improved energy, improved muscle tone, increased life expectancy, and also, I didn't put this on here, it allows you to, when you have your treats, it doesn't affect you the same way because of how you are positioning your eating. So what intermittent fasting is, it's not a diet, it's really just a pattern or a schedule of eating. You will eat for an 8-hour window, and you will not eat for a 16-hour window. I typically break my fast around 11, and I eat until 7, and then I don't eat again until 11 the next day. I still have coffee. I still have plenty of water. I have tea. I'll put some apple cider vinegar in warm water. That's an appetite suppressant. And those things sustain me for that time. We'll talk more about this though next Sunday. I'll do a live video just about this, so I don't want to spend too much time on it, but just be thinking about this. Also, new to this round, we are going to do one 24-hour fast in week 3. I just did my first ever 24-hour fast, and it was so surprisingly easy. And I felt really great. It was so just fascinating, just learning about your body. So when I broke my fast with a small meal, I felt my belly get warm because the blood was going to my belly. I mean, just things like that. It's so cool to learn about your body. But don't worry about that yet. We'll get into that in week 3, and I'll prepare you for it and all of that. Okay, so let's go on to the carb cycling because that's what you guys are going to do. This is one of those pages that's really not supposed to be here. These are recipes from my cookbook that you can apply to high carb and low carb. And right here in the manual, if you click it, it takes you directly to the cookbook. It's just a download on Kindle, and it's so, so convenient. I mean, one of the reasons I wrote this cookbook is because I wanted to have my recipes at my fingertips. So it's a Kindle app, and then it just pulls up the recipes. So when I'm cooking, you just scroll. Like, it's so easy. So the Kindle app is free. You just download it to your phone or your device. And it's simple. It's easy peasy. The cookbook's $4.99. I don't make any money off of it. It's just for you guys to have as a resource, okay? So share it with your friends. Use it. Let it help you. These recipes are all easy because I'm all about things that are sustainable and simple and doable. You know, I'm not going to make this super complicated because that's not something that I want in my life. I don't need any complicated thing in my life. So these are simple, and I've already laid out what you can have on what type of day. These pumpkin cookies, we just had a play date. I had a bunch of kids over, and I made those, and the kids loved them. It's just like pumpkin and bananas and oats and some other good stuff. So it's super, super, super good for you and really easy and good for kids. Okay, so let's move on to carb cycling. All right, Carb cycling is just, again, it's not a diet. It's just a strategy where you're rotating between certain days where you eat higher carbs and certain days where you eat lower carbs. And I love this strategy because I know you guys have seen all the buzz about low carb, high fat. And I have to tell you that I think that strategy is, okay, first of all, not I think, that strategy will help you lose weight. It will. When you're cutting out the carbs, you're definitely going to cut weight. But also, you are going to lower your performance over time and your metabolism is going to slow down. And I really don't think that strategy is necessary unless you are pre-diabetic or you have some other health issues. I think for the majority of the population, we can eat a balanced diet and be just fine. And actually, I just watched that documentary for the health of it, the vegan one. If you guys haven't seen it, I don't know that you should, because it's disturbing. My husband and I are actually going to kind of try leaning toward that way of eating and trying it on and seeing how it feels. But in that documentary, they talk a lot about how, eating all that fat, it's just, it may decrease your body fat, but inside your arteries, they're getting clogged. And I know there's information on both sides, which is kind of hard to weed through. But my point is that if you can do a balanced approach, why wouldn't you? Carbs are enjoyable. They give you really great energy and they boost your performance and they allow you to push harder and they keep your metabolism burning up here. So that's why this works for me and that's why it works for so many of my clients, because it's sustainable. So this is really going to help you use fat for your fuel instead of just burning through carbs and muscle tissue for fuel. You're going to add muscle and burn fat at the same time, increase your muscle definition, improve insulin sensitivity, which leads to fat loss. It just keeps your body guessing too, you guys, when you're kind of overloading it with, or giving it lots of carbs and then kind of taking them away and then giving them carbs and taking them away. It's just constantly burning fat. It's in that fat burning mode. All right. So there are a lot of approaches to carb cycling. Like I told you at the beginning, I saw a lot of approaches I didn't like. But the one that we're going to use is the one that I use. And I use it because it's simple. And it's just low carb, high carb, low carb, high carb. On your lower carb days, you're going to get your energy from fat. So fat and carbs give you energy. So if you take the carbs way down, you need to have a little more fat. You don't have to go crazy with the fat. It doesn't need to be through the roof, but you're gonna notice that your energy is a bit lower on those days, and protein doesn't really give you energy. So to get your energy, you're going to want to add some healthy fats. Cook in a little bit of coconut oil or some butter. Kerrygold is a great butter. Avocados, some cheese. Do what you need to get your energy by increasing your fats on those days. I'm not going to give you numbers right now. Maybe in week 2. I shouldn't say maybe. In week 2, I'll give you some numbers that you can shoot for, but I really don't want you to be focused on numbers right now. I want you to be focused on those sample meal plans, choosing foods from the different lists, and knowing that you're eating fewer carbs. Now, fruit are carbs, so try not to have any fruit on your low carb days. If you need some energy and you're just really struggling, have a few berries because those are low on the glycemic index, but not a lot of fruit. Okay, now on your high carb days, you want to lower your fat intake a little bit because your calories are naturally going to be higher on your high carb days anyway, and fat calories are a lot more robust than the other calories. In a calorie of fat, or in 1 gram of fat, there are 9 calories. In 1 gram of protein and carbs, there are 4. So when your carbs are higher, you're going to be eating quite a bit more calories on those days anyway. So you just want to keep your fats a little bit lower. That means I wouldn't throw an extra avocado on your salad, and I wouldn't put a whole bunch of butter on whatever you're making, or a ton of cheese. Just kind of keep the fats a little bit lower. Again, don't worry about numbers yet. I'll give you some guidelines later, but they're really just guidelines, and everyone is going to be different. So I don't want you to get boxed into those numbers. And I know for some of you number people, you're going to be mad at me about that. But please trust me that it really gives you some freedom to feel it out before you get locked into the numbers. I'm actually testing another program right now because I'm always collecting research and I'm always trying this on before I give it to my clients. And this program that I'm doing, it's asking us to track our food via MyFitnessPal every single day, and I hate it. I hate doing it every day, and I don't want you guys to have to do that. So that's why I just really want you to feel it out. Okay, so what to eat. So you're going to look for clean foods that are minimally processed. So if you haven't worked with me before, then you might not be aware of what that means. And that minimally processed just means that there are very few ingredients listed on the package, if it is in a package. Shoot for 5 ingredients or fewer. Shoot for words that you can pronounce. Shop the organic aisles if you can. Keep to the perimeter of the store. It doesn't mean you don't eat anything out of a can or out of a package. It's just that you're being more thoughtful about what the ingredients are in those items. If you have worked with me before, then you already know about how to do this, and you might have a little bit of a leg up. So if you're stuck with this, if this is a whole new concept, just reach out to me and I'm happy to help you. So here's some protein options. Try to get some protein with every meal. Getting enough protein is challenging for a lot of women, and this is why I've started drinking just a regular protein shake most days, and I got it at 5-Star Nutrition. You guys can get 25% off if you say my name. It's just protein, so it doesn't count for carbs or fats. It just counts towards your protein, and it's 24 grams of protein in one serving. I try to get about 1 gram of protein for each pound of body weight. I'm really active and I lift heavy, so that's appropriate for me. I don't want you guys to worry about the numbers yet, but I do want you to consider how much protein you are getting every day. If you really struggle with getting protein in at each meal, you might consider adding a protein supplement to your diet, just so that you're getting that really feeds your muscles. And if you are doing hard workouts and you're not getting enough protein, you're not going to see the definition in the muscles that you're looking for. Okay, so a lot of lean meats, grass-fed if you can, cage-free organic eggs if you can, lots of meat. All right, fats. So healthy fats are your friend. Fats help burn fat. They're an energy source. So here are some choices and options for fats. Get these things and keep them on hand. If you're going, when you're using these fats, you guys, since there's not that many on the list, get good quality fats. So get the nut butters with no added sugar. Get the grass-fed butter that's Kerrygold. Get the coconut oil that's unrefined. Get the good stuff if you can. I'm not going to check, but it's just better for you. And since you're cleaning up everything that's going in your body, just try to keep those ingredients as clean as you can. It really does make a difference when you're using them in a decent amount. Okay, so carbohydrates. You are going to look for these 1 ingredient carbs. We're not talking like potato chips or Twinkies or anything like that. Save that stuff for your flex day if you need it. But for 6 days of the week, you're just looking for these basic clean carbs. Sweet potatoes, they're so good for you. Ideally, you're eating those 3 times a week. I am not good at sweet potatoes. They're good. I don't know. I forget about them, but it's a goal to get more sweet potatoes. There's a brand of sweet potato fries in the freezer section, Alexia. They're clean, and you just bake them, and they're delicious. So get those. You guys might have seen me post about this on Facebook, those veggie tots. It's cauliflower, and they're shaped like tater tots, and they're delicious. So get stuff like that if you struggle with this. You can have potatoes, regular potatoes. You can have rice, quinoa, oats, black beans, veggies. Veggies are totally fine. Actually, this veggies and fruits should not be in the carb section. Another message from my designer. Hold on one second. Those are supposed to be listed separately because fruits are listed in the carbs, but not veggies. Veggies, just eat veggies. I know that some veggies have more carbs than others, but I don't want you to worry about those except for the potatoes. So like carrots have higher carb content, but you can eat carrots anytime, high carb, low carb. It doesn't matter. Broccoli, anytime. Okay, they're so small in calories and have such a small footprint as far as your macros that you just don't need to worry about that except for potatoes. Hope that makes sense. So fruits, like I said, keep those to high carb day. Okay, so here's some basics. Tomorrow, I am assuming you are all starting on a low carb day, unless you have some huge workout event tomorrow and you've decided that you're starting with a high carb day. The rest of us are going to be low carb. And then you can kind of play with it as we go. But some basics for low carb days. It's a high fat day. We already covered that. Every meal should have a protein, a veggie, and healthy fat. That's where you're getting your energy. I want you to eat until you're hungry, or eat when you're hungry and eat until you're satisfied. So that's it. I don't want to give you a bunch of guidelines as far as how many calories and all that. We're not doing that yet. When you feel hungry, eat, and eat till you're satisfied. That's 80% full, okay? Don't get to where you feel so stuffed you're going to burst. If you're fueling your body with these clean foods, it just doesn't really matter how much you eat, okay? Especially at first. That's why I want you to focus on feeling full and eating when you're hungry to begin. And then we talked about healthy fat burns fat. Try to keep your fruit to your high carb days. Okay, high carb day will start on Tuesday as long as you're on the same schedule as us. And if you need to adjust your schedule, you can. Your high carb day is a lower fat day just for calorie purposes like we discussed. They will and they should be a bump in calories, your high carb days. You're just going to be eating more. Because carbohydrates, you burn through them faster, you're going to be eating more during the day. I feel like I'm eating every 2 hours on high carb day, and on low carb day, it's 2 meals. So you'll see the difference and you'll get to play with it. Schedule your carbs post-workout if you can. And I always like to have a little protein after my workouts as well. So, if you can have some oatmeal if you're working out in the morning, some oats afterwards, or a banana, or, eggs and some Ezekiel bread, which is a frozen grain-free or sprouted grain bread. So you can have that right after your workout, and you'll burn through it. Your body will use it as fuel. You'll burn it off, and then your body will start working on the fat. So it's a really great strategy. Eat when you're hungry and eat until you're satisfied. Here are some sample menus. These are really just ideas. These first 2 are low carb, and then the second 2 are high carb. So I encourage you guys to post pictures of some of the foods you're eating tomorrow and throughout the week so that you can give each other ideas of your menu, and I will do the same, okay? I'll post some different suggestions and options that I'm eating. I will post in the morning with some reminders and some guidelines, and then I'll pop in the middle of the day, and I usually pop in sometime in the evening. So post any of your questions right there on the page, because likely other people have it, and I will hop on, at those times, and I'll address your questions. Okay, and then you guys, the last day is a flex day, and I will cover this in more detail before our first flex day, but the flex day is just where you don't worry about carbs or fats or proteins, you just eat to fuel your body. And if you're craving a donut, you have it on flex day. And if you're craving, some ice cream, you have it on flex day. We'll talk about ways to navigate flex day without going crazy, but you're going to be surprised at how when you finally get to your flex day, you're feeling so good that you're not gonna like ruin your progress with flex day. It's actually called a refeed, and it's important for your metabolism to kind of get a boost in calories, and then you'll get back to that fat burning the very next day. Okay, so our schedule is just alternating. It's so simple. So obviously, if you started tomorrow on a high carb instead for your schedule, then it would be low carb, then it would be high carb, and so on. Try to keep the alternating pattern unless you're a former client who has figured out her own unique schedule that works just for her. Like I have a client that said, I really want to do my low carb days on such and such because of my workouts. Can I do that? Yes. But if you're new, try to stick to this one-off schedule. And I move my flex day around depending on my weekend plans. So it might be Friday, it might be Saturday, it might be Sunday. It's usually one of those days. But you are welcome to do that as well. Okay, guys, some things to keep in mind. This is a strategy you can use long-term, but this program is only 3 weeks. And the reason I like the 3-week programs, and I've done so many different lengths of programs, but for the check-in purposes, I noticed that people get kind of tired of checking in beyond the 3 weeks. It just gets to be kind of arduous, you know. So 3 weeks is a good amount of time for that. And then if you want to come back after a month and try it again or sign up for the next one in a few weeks, you are welcome to do that. But the 3 weeks just works really well for the check-ins. Also, 3 weeks is about how long it takes to get comfortable with a new habit. And so that's what we're doing. I'm giving you 3 weeks to really get comfortable with some of this stuff. So this is hard work. I mean, I'm asking you to do some hard things, to bypass foods that you might normally say yes to focus, have time every morning and every night to check in with the group and post your check-ins at night. That takes time, but I promise you that it will be worth it. You're going to feel so amazing at the end and be so glad that you stuck with it and put the time in. So stay focused. Okay, follow these points for the best results. Water should be your primary beverage. I still drink coffee, and I encourage you to drink coffee, but I wouldn't have more than 2 cups of coffee per day. You don't want a ton of caffeine, and try to stay away from alcohol. If you must have it on your flex day. Try to stay away from soda. It's bad for us anyway. If you must have it on your flex day. I also like LaCroix. Actually, this is LaCroix right now with a little lime juice. So LaCroix is a really good option for something a bit different, and I consider that water too. Follow a workout plan for optimal results. I don't have a built-in workout plan because everyone has a different level of fitness. So you might already have a workout plan that's working for you, or maybe you need help finding one. And if that's the case, let me know. I can help you with that. But you'll get better results if you follow a workout plan. On your low carb days, try to take it easy. You know, do a light cardio workout, or a yoga, or stretching, body flow, that kind of thing. And on your high carb days, lift heavy, sweat, move more, make it a longer workout. That will really make this program go so much further for you than if you're not doing any exercise at all. By the way, I'm working on my own personal workout plan to share with you guys. And hopefully that's done in like the next month or so. So be on the lookout for that. And I'll be sure to let you know when it's available. Okay, and eat when you're hungry, eat when you're satisfied. We're not cutting calories in this program. This is not a calorie deficit program. In fact, in about a week, I'm going to share with you what level your calories should be, your unique calories should be, and you're all going to be shocked at how high it is. It's so freeing, you guys, when you can eat more food, lose more fat, gain more energy. Calorie deficit programs will always work at first because you're getting less fuel. But the longer you do those programs, actually you can do some real damage to your thyroid. You ruin your metabolism. It's so much better to have more calories. So rejoice in that. That's a really good thing. Choose an eating schedule that works for you. If you only want to eat 3 meals a day, I'm talking about this week. Next week, it'll be a little different with the fasting, but that's fine. Just make sure that those meals, are a little bigger than my sample meal plans because I included snacks. If you're somebody that likes to snack all day like me, that's fine. It doesn't matter. That the frequency of which you eat in your eating window, it doesn't matter at all. So that whole thing, like you need to eat 8 meals a day, like that's just false information. So last tip, have fun and get creative with your meals. You don't need to be eating chicken and broccoli and brown rice with every meal. Please don't do that. That's not sustainable or enjoyable. Use my cookbook, talk to each other about what you're eating, get ideas on Pinterest, get creative, and just, know that it will get easier as you go. So maybe for the first week, start simple if that's easier, and then you can get more creative as you go. All right, you guys. We talked about after the first 3 weeks, so I'm gonna unshare my screen now, and if you guys want to post any questions, you can, and if I can do that, how do I do that? Let's see. Here we go. Stop share. Okay, so does anybody have any questions for me? Or anything that you want me to go over? We're right at about 30 minutes. Oh, I see your hand, Katie. Let me unmute you. Oh, Katie, it's not letting me unmute you. Can you unmute yourself? Oh, there we go. Hi, Katie. Are you there? Hello, hello. Well, I don't hear you. Feel free to type in a question. Anybody else have questions before I let you go? Are you excited? I hope you are. I think this is going to be a really great thing for you. If you're anything like my previous clients or me, you're going to find great success with this. Rachel, I can't tell if you really have a question. It said, let's see. Rachel, do you have a question? It's not letting me unmute you, Rachel. All right. It doesn't seem to be showing me that you guys have any questions. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. If you do have a question, post it on the page and I'll be sure to answer it. And get excited. We start tomorrow morning. Remember, no fasting this week. Just focus on the carb cycling, focus on your workouts, focus on water, and focus on staying plugged in with the group. That is huge for your success. You're welcome, Renee. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.